we're now arriving at the Landscape Techniques deep dive number 2. I think we're going to park on the driveway. We're going to learn about this beautiful project. How is everyone?
Not bad.
You guys aren't wearing shoes.
Can't get mud on there. Can't get mud on there.
Oh, so my oil leak could be a problem? Good, how are you? Maybe moving
How are
it.
you, mate? How you doing? No,
This is like a hidden gem.
it's definitely a hidden gem.
I'm driving around, I'm like, where? We drove straight past. There's a road here. This is one you've designed.
Yes, yep. So we've done the design. Scott Salisbury's we've done the build and got us in early before.
Who got you in, the client?
So Helen from Scott Salisbury. So she's the project coordinator on this one. And then we met with the clients, and then just started and worked with Salisbury's to start with, in making this what it is now.
From the design standpoint, you designed this?
Yep. So Tom and I.
Tom Easton.
Yep. So we took us a fair while actually, because obviously big site like this is only the front yard. And originally, the house was actually a metre higher to start with.
Metre higher?
Yeah, so the finished floor level originally,
Was gonna be there.
And then council didn't want the retaining wall on that side to be so high, which understandably, with the
What was the
neighbour.
advantage of having it a metre higher for the client?
Just a little bit more view over those trees.
And we'll understand that once we get around there.
Yeah. It's not, it's not an amazing view, but it just gives you a little bit more elevation.
But that was the kind of conversation that the client and the builder were having at that stage.
Yeah, and then we got in and then we worked out, well, council aren't going to let us do that. And so if we brought it down a metre, the retaining walls are on this side, which is the back side of the house, the service side, being hidden, and then you're not really affecting the neighbour.
When did you start the build?
So we started February last year.
Wow.
Yep, so site cut.
Yep.
And then we did all the retaining walls.
Yep.
Was it February, Dave? Last year we started retaining walls? Yeah.
And so you've done all the, do you do the fencing?
Yep.
Yeah, so
We've done everything.
So if it's
Stormwater.
outside the house, it's
everything.
you guys.
Yep.
Is there a pool?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
And you did that as well?
Yep. So Bill did that for us. Yep.
Yep. But it's your pool?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's under our scope.
Yep.
And there's what? I think there's almost 60, they're 28,000.
Yep, that would be right. So client engages builder and landscaper to do project all at once?
Yes, so the idea was we would pretty much, we'll have everything done other than the pool.
So their removalist truck can move them in.
Exactly.
And then they can have their friends around out the back that night.
Well, the pool won't be done.
They can't swim,
no.
But it's cold.
Yeah.
So they don't want to swim. What are the advantages of that for a client?
Well, it means that you're moving in, especially this time of year.
Yep.
You've got no mess.
Yep.
It's immediate. The impact, the clients Dave was saying the clients came here yesterday and they're just pumped.
Yep.
You're moving into a house and the satisfaction is just bang.
Yeah, there's not like, oh, I like your house. When are you doing the backyard?
Yeah. Plants have still got to grow and bits and pieces. But
are there any negatives about it?
Maybe the only negative would be for the builder.
Yeah, because then they've got landscapers to
and us too. We're, 3 months ago there was just cars everywhere here.
Well, and the access is not ideal, is it?
No, and then we had that week between Easter and Anzac Day.
Yep.
So there was no one for the builder here.
Yep.
So we had all this concrete curing. So it was worked out perfectly.
So now it's just about respecting this concrete.
That's right.
That's why.
And they all do.
Yep.
Everyone does. Hence the boys in their socks.
Yep.
So talking about tanks. So there's 3 5,000 litres in that section underneath. So.
What? Oh, so you put
detention?
underground?
Yeah.
Oh, detention only.
Yeah.
A council spec.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole. So there's an easement that runs all the way down there.
Yep.
There's the whole thing about 50-year storm.
Yeah.
There's we've made all this as a bund through here. So
it's got that slightly raised.
Yeah, slightly raised. That's why this is slightly raised here. There's a big sump down the bottom there
and
as well.
And that protects that house.
Correct.
Yep.
And that one and that one and so on. But before we were here, this was just a paddock, so everything would have gone there anyway.
That's right. But the argument would have been that the soil would have absorbed whatever percentage.
90% of it. Now we've got, you know, a lot of concrete, a lot of house, a lot of runoff.
Yep.
Hence all the tanks as well, and then.
So these tanks are rainwater.
Yes.
And they detain into there.
Correct.
And then they're out.
Yeah.
At a slow rate, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get Anthony to do all that. That's just that's your scope. You come and do your stuff.
Exactly. Yep. So he did all the stormwater, everything. So there's
look at the size of it. Like 150 mil straight into the
Oh yeah, they don't muck around.
Yep.
And it's just easy for us. We just say, yep, you guys
I think it's
have
good.
it.
And I think that's a great thing about, I guess, landscape construction at the level that you're working at, is it's basically a builder but externally.
Exactly.
So you go find the trades,
collaborating with others,
and make sure that it meshes together. The client sees a seamless activity, and you get a result.
Yep. So otherwise, like even we've had at least 4 guys out here for quite a few months, like pretty much since January.
And your guys are all based down south?
They're based everywhere, so
Southish,
southish. So the travel's been a bit extreme for them.
But I guess the result.
Yeah, like it looks amazing. Yeah. Like I hadn't been here since the front had been planted out, and just seeing it today.
That's great for you that you know that you've got a team that don't need you here.
Yeah. Oh mate. Yeah, wouldn't be able to do it without it.
Yep. What's the I guess talk through the design process out here. So. Did they give you a brief, like we need a circular driveway, or this is you guys have gone, look, you want to be able to pull out, it's a hard road to reverse out?
Correct, exactly. So, and they like to entertain, so there's enough room here for people to park around. Yep. It's almost like valet parking type style. Kind of like that, it's pretty cool. And there's just so much scope, like, you can actually see people. We talked about a fire pit in this area, but we just thought, it's not going to be used as much.
Clean up,
these people probably, if it was in the countryside.
Oh, that's an evap, so it wouldn't matter, but
But, so, you can definitely see people sitting here and having a chat, on this wall.
Yep. And it's private enough that even though it's a front yard, it's a backyard.
It's a backyard as well, exactly. And then security as well, big thing for them. There's going to be swinging gates in there. Yep.
And that's part of your scope as well? You take care of all that? Did you manufacture the gates, or do you just have someone
we subbed that out as well, So we've...
Do you design the gates?
Yep. And turf's coming today, so there's going to be some greenery.
How tall will these trees grow?
So they'll get about 4 to 5 metres.
So that'll be a screen across there?
Yep.
And then is the same kind of thing going to happen here?
That's it. So that's what. So these are the silver birches. So it's almost like a little grove.
Yeah.
So there's a meadow sort of mix underneath that.
Yep. So you're not turfing down there. That's going to be.
So that's just going to be sort of like if you're walking through a little forest somewhere and you just saw like some grasses and bits and pieces through there. We're not going to seed that until coming into spring. Because nothing's going to germinate now, so we'll just keep it weed free and then do that. This is a little bit of a productive garden through here.
Yep.
So we've got apples,
What's
got
that?
some citrus. I don't even know what that is. I'll find out though.
So this will kind of hide the tanks?
Exactly, that's the whole thing.
That's just an area for them?
Well, that's where all the underground tanks are, so we can't really do much there, so there's probably a little bit of storage.
Yep.
And it'll be... Once the client's in, there's always that.
They'll be like, hey, we can fit all the lawnmower.
Yeah, correct. Or, we do a little awning that comes off the shed and there might be a little bit more undercover there.
How many squares of lawn's going down? The whole site? I love that you don't know.
Oh, I have no
It shows the sign of a good business.
Yeah. Dave, how many squares have we got coming today? 425.
Okay. So do you think they'll mow that with a push mower?
Nah, so we've got our maintenance crew that will come in.
So you've got a full-time maintenance crew?
Well, we sub it out.
Yep.
Adelaide Hills and Gardens. So
he's doing a lot of work.
He's doing a lot.
Is he doing work for Aaron?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yep.
Because I saw he posted some stuff the other day.
Yeah, no, he's got lots on him.
Smart.
They're so good.
Well, it's so smart. Like, I've said it multiple times. Every one of the residential landscapes we go to aren't being maintained by the actual person.
Yeah.
So one of the things I took from Melbourne is a lot of those guys are like, yeah, we maintain our own, we maintain our own, we maintain our own.
Be great, but
I don't think. I mean, I know when I'd spoken to Rob about it before, people have tried to hire guys to do it. It seems like you either can't pay them enough money for what they could earn to do it themselves or whatever. The contracting model just seems to work.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And yeah, like we've got, we've got 17 guys.
You want another 5 or 3?
Nah.
What's this stone?
It's just Kapunda Bluestone.
So is that local? Very local.
Very local. So again, there's a lot of hardscape in this property.
You don't think about it, but you've made that retaining wall.
Yeah. So instead of putting a sleeper wall or a rendered wall or something like that, there's plenty of room that we can just make it a little bit softer, put some plants in amongst it.
I was just thinking if it was a 600 square metre block or a 400 square metre block, those stones aren't on the table.
Lots of greenery. Once the turf's in, I can't wait to see it.
Well, if we stay here long enough,
you'll see something.
We'll see the turf in. What's this stone that we're walking on now?
So that's Wyndham from Eco Outdoor.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Where's it from? Is it imported?
Yes, it's imported.
So big pieces.
Yeah, they're huge. So some of these pieces are 1200 by 600. So
not quite, but yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. Yep. And we managed to get a lot of big pieces in this batch. So they pretty much got a container for us for this job.
Because then they just keep the change kind of thing.
That's right. So this is this wasn't originally in our design. Yep. So this is with talking with the clients. Yeah, they wanted a spot where, so this is their master suite in there. They've got a fire and everything.
So they're husband and wife couple.
Yep.
This is their place.
This is their place. So we've got.
So they can come out here and have a coffee.
Yep.
Read the paper, whatever that makes them happy. They don't have to look if there's children involved.
It's like gated.
Yep.
They can just chill. Yep.
I like it.
Perfect in the mornings too. You just get a little bit of sun like we're getting now.
Yeah.
And then we've got a pergola that comes out over here. So it's in that cool deck sort of material. So it's a foam reinforced on the inside. Nice bottom, nice top. And then we've just got battens. So it's just open, so let a bit of sunlight through.
So what's the time? So it's 9:30 now. It's not summer.
No.
But you're thinking your sun's just about to peek over.
There. Yep. Mate, you could just sit here like a nice...
Well, I can feel the heat now. Yep. Like, what is it, 21 today? Or it's meant to be. It wouldn't be now.
23 out here, I think.
Yeah, and you kind of got this nice... Well, that's why I didn't bring a vest. So, and did you build the deck?
Yeah.
So do you have carpenters on staff that do that? Yep.
Yeah.
What's this timber?
So this is spotted gum. So we covered this with board, plastic, everything, obviously to build the pergola, and somehow there's this black spot, which will come off.
So that's from water?
I don't know.
But you can just fix it?
We've covered, it's fine to fix, but...
just means you have to fix it.
And then we've got Dale just finishing the last little bits off today. But it's a nice big board, so it's a 140mm board. Yeah. They're now doing all these boards in 22mm thick.
Yep, so it felt dense.
Yeah, so...
That was probably the first thing I could, when I stood on it, I was
it's almost like a commercial grade sort of timber, which is what they're doing. Borrell are doing that with their 19mm, their 140s, the whole lot.
This dichondra is a slab, obviously. I'm seeing that it's tiles.
Yep. So Plant Tiles Australia.
Yep.
We've been using them a lot.
I love it.
It's...
Obviously, this is the perfect area for it.
Perfect.
Because there's no kids, no dogs.
No. Look, it will take a fair bit of traffic, but you can
walk on it. No, I'm not going to, but
no,
you can walk on it.
Definitely. You can plant it. It's just...
You mow it?
No, don't mow it. All you got to do is edge it. Yeah, it's pretty good. And look how, creates such a softening sort of feel. The first
thing I saw when I walked in.
Yeah.
And you've got like an unbelievable deck.
Yeah.
And I saw that.
Mm.
I noticed the plants are quite small.
They are. Look, there's some,
it's a big job.
Yeah, there's almost 3,000 plants in this job.
So if every one of them was 20% bigger.
Yeah. So, we did scale back a little bit, but they'll be here for 10 years and they'll see everything grow. We got good sized trees. The ginkgos here, we really struggled to get something of good size.
Ginkgo.
So these
means gold in Japanese.
Well done, mate.
There you
go. Obviously they don't look amazing at the moment because they're losing their leaves, but...
What's this, you've got them in a lawn. Is that normal behaviour for you?
Not really.
It's a design thing?
Just a design thing. Just to give a little bit of the... I suppose layering effect.
I like it because a lot of the time it's just lawn, edge, plants, edge, fence, edge.
And we also didn't want something too big to create too much shade underneath the lawn, which then stops it from growing.
The sweeping style, is that your style traditionally, or are you
not
kind of
really
a square edge garden designer?
We are definitely more square edge, but I think when you look at the dichondra that's in there, that looked really nice with the sweeping edge, and then
if you sharpened it.
Yeah, that's right. If it was square, everything else is quite square. So I think the lawn will look really nice.
Yeah.
And just give a little bit of softness to the area. Like again, we've got a lot of retaining walls at the back, which we've got another dichondra. So this is like the silver falls, which is like a grey colour, which you can sort of see it already.
I know the one. We've got it in our grow wall out the front.
Yeah.
I've seen it over walls.
It just, yeah.
So you've got it across the whole.
So we've got it all the way across, and then we've also got ficus, like the climbing fig, to go up it as well.
And that'll climb?
We can spray some little bits on, like a little bit of like spray glue, and that'll actually help it get on there. As well.
Legit, like special tape.
Well, almost like, I suppose. But you spray it on there, and then just gives a little bit of texture for it to grow on.
That's wicked. Is that how they do it on, I guess, buildings?
Well, rendered will go.
It's fine.
It just needs something. That's it. Just needs something to bond onto. And then this here, we've got some stainless steel wires that we've got. What is there? 7. Yeah. So wires that'll go up.
Did you say 7?
7 wires.
Was that relevant? Vertically. The number?
I don't think it's relevant. It just means that
it's just what it was. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just curious. Like they're like, oh no, they've got a business called 7 Star something, and this is like important.
No. Yep. It's 3, 5, 7.
Yeah, it's because it's in the middle.
Yeah.
So the pool.
I think Bill's starting that tomorrow. Actually, he's cleaning it all out tomorrow and moving on it.
Obviously, everything on this side of the fence is pool safe.
Correct.
So they can have.
So originally we had the fence running all the way along here, all the way down there, and coming back into here. And then we decided, well, the clients asked us to do something with their master suite.
So that meant you could put a wall here.
Yep. So that meant we could put a fence there.
Yep. So that's a pool gate.
So that's compliant.
1 point whatever.
We've got 1800 high fencing all the way around. We've got this post and rail fence. So we've actually got some 60-degree angles that go on the rails. So that then makes that compliant.
60-degree angles that go on the rails.
So see that rail,
they become unclimbable so it's like they can't get up it. A child.
Well, it's actually going from that side down.
So you can't climb down.
Yep.
So
if they put a ladder on the back,
and that becomes super safe.
Yeah. And then we've got fence down the side there, compliancy. So it means we then went to the client and said, look, we've now worked out a way where you can have all this open. They've got older kids. I said, look, we'll put in, we've got a thickened edge along here. We've got concrete running through here. So if they do
so you've prepared to put a fence up later?
We have, yeah.
Very
so
smart.
If they then go and try and sell it and people are like, oh, we'd love to have a fence here, everything's here to do it.
Yep.
But
the whole pool becomes glassed off.
That's right. But how good is it?
Mate, the only reason it jumped out to me is because I've just had a pool design.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for us, the reality is we have to just do the fence.
Yeah.
We've got a 1970s house with the windows aren't compliant.
Yeah.
They would have been inside the fence.
Yeah.
We've got two-year-olds. It's a different scope.
Well, when we design a pool, the first thing we think about, pool fence.
Yep.
Before we even shape the pool.
Yep.
Where can we fence off? Because I hate boxing out a pool.
Well, the way ours has been designed, it's other fences, so there's a kind of steel involved and glass, and so it's not just a glass pool fence. So you try and do other things.
And this is where we were going to have vertical steel rods through here and through here.
Which is what ours is.
Yeah. But then that means that
it's another area.
It's just So that was once that happened, then this happened. It's really just made this area so much more usable, like all year round. And the whole thing about this pool was the whole design concept was that it had to be grand.
Yep.
Right. So
it is.
It's a simple shape, but then when you walk forward and you come to see it, like these steps are all tiled in the Wyndham.
That's over there. Yep.
Yeah. So that's all these steps and all the ledges.
And then the pool's tiled a different colour?
Pool's tiled in like a light blue, so it'll give you that wow factor.
Yeah.
It's called sky blue.
I noticed
just a simple 50 by 50. Like it's not.
Does the spa infinity into the pool?
Yeah. So there's like a wet edge there,
whatever you call it.
Yep.
I don't speak pool.
Well, when you're doing a concrete pool, the whole reason why you're doing a concrete pool is, I suppose, longevity and also to customise. So being able to just put the spa over there where it's not really seen, and it's also close to their master suite. So it was, originally we talked about, or we threw up the idea that we're going to put it that end, we're going to put it in the middle, but then just the simplicity of it all. When you're looking out from, so this is their main entertaining area, so kitchen, dining, you're looking straight out here, it's just simple.
And the spa's kind of not
the
there.
The spa is across from here. They can just walk out of their master suite straight into the spa.
Back out that gate.
Yeah.
Shower.
Yeah.
Sleep.
And that doorway there goes into their master suite as well. So, it works really well. Really well.
And the cooking area's hidden, but it's still part of it.
Correct. Yeah.
I noticed
so
that.
we didn't have any real say in where,
this normally, is part of the house build.
This is part of the house build. Normally we like to have some sort of input, but I think it works.
I agree, and it was what I noticed that as soon as we were over there, I was looking for the barbecue.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool because you can cook over here.
Yeah.
You can still watch the kids in the pool.
Yeah.
If that's what's happening.
Yeah.
You're not getting smoke in everyone's face over here, and then the food's just there.
That's right.
It's almost like a butler's barbecue.
It is. Yeah. Whereas a lot of ours are more in your face. Like, I suppose the sense of scale means that you can do this, but normally our places are.
Oh, you'd have to have it in there because it's
the kitchen.
It's 3/4 of that size.
That's right. Yeah. The outdoor kitchen is the heart.
Wait,
of
and
the
it's
outside.
here.
Yeah, correct.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But I'd say they're going to have table, couch. Like that's a TV that goes up on there.
Well, this is nice. You think about sitting out here watching the footy. Fan on.
Yeah.
Nice high ceilings.
Yeah.
Look at that DK. First sod. There's this
bit of greenery.
Sickening joy that you get as a landscaper or a lawn layer when you lay the first and the last bit.
Instantaneous, hey, like
and then
it's just
to
bang.
stand there with a hose and water that in is, you know what I mean? Mate, you probably haven't done it for a while. But
there's going to be, it'll take 3 hours to water this one.
You'd have memories from 10 years ago.
I also like just sweeping off stuff, like.
It's that kind of like bookend or full stop or exclamation mark around the job that you've done.
So this is just their service area. Yep. We've got clothesline here, but it still looks nice, We've got the magnolia greenbacks there, clivias again, we've got more of the silver falls.
Any of the, I guess, is the location or the climate here, has that affected your plant choice much?
A little bit. Like this obviously gets a fair bit of shade during the day.
Yep.
And then what has changed our plant selections was that 40, what was it? Let's make it 55 degree day.
Yeah, that sounds good.
There was it was like a sauna.
Yeah.
So many plants just got singed.
And you had planted at that point?
So we had planted 3-4 years. So we had one at Summerton Park where we'd planted magnolia teddy bears.
Yep.
And they were sort of facing south in a bit of shade.
So when you're referring to that weather, you're referring to your business, not this site?
No, we're not this site. We haven't planted anything, but just, client rang me up. We've got some burning going on. And teddy bears are pretty good. If they've got a bit of shade, these were just fried.
Yep.
And then we'd go to another site, same thing, different plant, Syzygium, the backyard bliss, burnt.
Yeah.
And even though you're putting them in, let's say 50% shade.
The recommended.
Yeah, correct. It was like that is hot.
Yep.
And no plant, no human is designed to be even outside in that. Yep.
With your plants, are you looking at like selecting them early for a job of this size? Do you start working with guys like Heine's or wholesales?
We did a little bit to an extent.
Can you put these aside?
We did for the aces out the front, so the trees out the front there that line the driveway. We definitely did with that. And then we talked with Heine's pre even ordering anything, like probably 6 months in advance, and just got them to put aside a certain amount, and they just repotted them.
Yep.
So got them at a cheaper price. But yeah, they're all, there's nothing too out of the ordinary here. Yep. There's just a lot of them. So these are a new little spillover light. So
disappear, don't they?
They do. And the hardest thing for us, the idea for this is that the hedge just becomes the riser, right? We get a fair bit of shade here, so we've used the Faulkner variety of the Buxus, which is really good in the shade. And then these will spill out, so they're an LED almost strip. They'll spill out.
So like a side strip irrigation system,
Yeah,
but for lighting.
Pretty much, man. Because the only lights, like on the original plan, there was actually up-down lights on these pillars, and so we weren't going to put anything out here.
Yeah.
But they've gone and they've only got these down lights in the.
Okay, so we've talked about stormwater drainage. Drainage is a big issue on the site.
Yep.
You've
So
got
there's strip
drains.
drains everywhere.
Yep.
There's strip drain down the bottom.
What
there.
brand of strip drain have you used out here?
We have.
Everhard?
I reckon that's what it would be.
Yep.
So schedule for us here is we're doing like a pre-handover with the clients in a week's time.
What does that entail?
So it just means, we'll have 95% of the stuff, 98 done, and it just means we can walk through with the clients, and if they have got any issues or any concerns, it means that we can have all that done by the time we're ready to hand it. It's just sort of like I've gone through and had a look and seen whether there's any defects and bits and pieces that we need to patch up.
Yep.
So it just means that it's just a pre-walkthrough, really.
Yep.
Just so they can go, look, could we do something like that here, or like that little area down there?
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Yep. Now that they've seen it in real life and not on paper, they can be like, oh, you could fit a trailer there, or
something.
Right.
Yeah. And just with we definitely talked to them about plant species and obviously the fruit trees. They've selected all them, so the aim for us is to try and have them involved in as much as possible that they want to be involved in.
Yep.
Like some people don't give a crap.
Yep. Just finish my house.
Yeah, just finish it. Others, they go,
yeah.
Could we be involved in this? Can we select this? Can we do that?
Yep.
Which is great. I love trying to get people involved in projects.
What's the deal with these trees, man? These are trees.
These
So
are.
you buy them like this?
Yeah. So unexpectedly, they came this big.
Yep. As in you'd ordered them.
So, Brad ordered them. I said I wanted something at least 1,800 high.
Which is me.
And then I got a photo of Nath at the gate standing there next to him, and I went, holy moly.
But you're happy with that?
Oh, they're great.
Because they're established.
They're established, and, like when you're looking from here, we are sort of sunken. And so if the house was, a normal size home, they'd probably look out of place.
Tell me about this, the rocks that you, or the aggregate, or whatever you want to.
So it's just.
Why have you chosen that?
Well, it's a contrast. Like there's a lot of grey.
Yep.
Right. So the idea for what is it? It's a quartz. We found it from. Was it Garden Grove that got this one? I think it was.
It's just not as rude as marble chip.
No, not as glary. Nah, and it's it's a bit more organic looking.
And it ties in over there.
Exactly. Well, that's why we've used it down there as well. But you get a bit of a contrast, and then
it's just like a 14mm ag.
That's right, mate. Yeah.
So we're now leaving the Landscape Techniques Lindot project after doing a deep dive. I'm hoping we've captured some quality content there.